Khogyan, Afghanistan. When the American military dropped the largest bomb in its arsenal on an Islamic State cave complex here in eastern Afghanistan in April, the generals justified it as part of a robust campaign to destroy the group's local affiliate by year's end. Its force had been reduced to 700 fighters from 3,000, they said, and its area of operation diminished to 3 districts from 11. But as the year comes to a close, the Islamic State is far from being vanquished in eastern Afghanistan, even as the group is on the run in its core territory in Iraq and Syria. It has waged brutal attacks that have displaced thousands of families and forced even some Taliban fighters, who had long controlled the mountainous terrain, to seek government protection. The shifting dynamic has, in turn, threatened the American-backed government's tenuous hold on the region. And 2 years into the joint United States-Afghanistan operation, a clear understanding of the Islamic State affiliate, the latest enemy in the long Afghan war, still evades even some of those charged with fighting it. General John W. Nicholson, Jr., the top American and NATO commander in Afghanistan, recently said that 1,400 operations and airstrikes had removed from the battlefield more than 1,600 Islamic State fighters since March, more than double the estimate from early in the year. Some Afghan and other Western officials question whether those numbers are inflated, but the Americans say they are an indication that the group continues to replenish its ranks with new fighters. Part of the reason the 2-year joint operation by the United States and Afghanistan against the Islamic State has made little progress is simply that the two forces are operating in a terrain where they have had little control for years. Airstrikes and commando operations bring bursts of pressure, but the militants have release valves all around them. On one side is the porous border with Pakistan, where many of the fighters come from. Elsewhere is largely Taliban country. It's like a balloon, General Nicholson said. We squeeze them in this area, and they'll try to move out elsewhere. A visit this month to Khogyani, a district in the east where Islamic State fighters have shifted, showed the increasing complexity of the Afghan conflict, and underlined how daunting a task it will be to defeat the Islamic State, also known as ISIS. The Afghan government's authority in Khogyani, in a remote region of Nangarhar province, has long been confined to the district compound and the immediate surroundings. The Taliban ruled the rest. Opium has been grown all around. After years of war with no clear victor, the region had settled into a strange sort of calm as the Taliban and the government found ways to coexist, as has happened to varying degrees around the country. Although the Taliban are known for their opposition to girls' education, in Khogyani, the militants here allowed schooling, showing a willingness to drop a demand that had lost them hearts and minds before. In return for having nominal control, the government has paid the salaries of teachers and health workers that the Taliban could not afford.